Something else that's new with these exponential functions is for the first time we are encountering something called an asymptote. Okay, so asymptotes you're going to see in both 12a and 12b in several different functions. It's going to come up. This is the first time it's come up in 12a. These exponential functions have what is known as horizontal asymptotes. So really, asymptotes don't necessarily have to be just horizontal and vertical lines, but that's all you're going to see in grade 12 math. So we'll just keep it to that for right now. And then, of course, we have abbreviations. We have horizontal asymptote you're going to see written as HA. And any horizontal line, if you think back to grade 10, every horizontal line can be written as y equals a number. The number would be different each time, but every horizontal line, including the asymptotes, can be written like that. And we usually write in asymptotes as dashed lines. So that just kind of differentiates it from the actual graph. Now, we will not be doing vertical asymptotes with exponential functions, but you're going to see them come up later on in both 12a and 12b. And all vertical lines can be written as x equals a number. So just want to hold on to that information. We are going to focus today and in this unit on horizontal asymptotes. So if we just want to remind ourselves of the graphs on Desmos, okay, when we do these, we do have asymptotes. They don't show up on the graph. Okay, you would actually have to just observe where they should be or type them into the equation box on our own. So notice here, okay, all the graphs that we have shown, all the exponential functions have had asymptotes at y is equal to 0. So what I can do here is put in y equals 0, and you can actually change it to a dashed line, which is happening here. In order for them to show up on Desmos, you would have to actually type the equation in. But you can see that these graphs, okay, you can see that they are not getting past that asymptote. They're getting closer and closer without actually touching. Even at times when it looks like it's touching, if you go and zoom in, you can see that they are not touching. It's just getting closer and closer. So that's just a little something to note. And then eventually, when we get into the next section of this unit, we're going to see asymptotes that are different than y equals 0. That happens when there are translations. For example, if I shift this up 3 units, now the asymptote shifts up along with it to y is equal to 3. So that's something you can see. And then if I have a vertical translation going down 4 units, then my asymptote will shift down along with that. So we would have something like this. Okay, so exponential functions have horizontal asymptotes. They always approach a horizontal line. And for right now, that line will always be y is equal to 0 until we get into translations. Okay, so we have our asymptotes and all that sort of thing. Okay, we have asymptotes, horizontal asymptotes for these graphs. And notice that the 2 different graphs that I have drawn represent growth or decay functions. So you know that in this one, this is a function of the form y is equal to b to the x. We cannot tell just by looking at it what the b value is, but we do know that it is greater than 1 because we know as you move from left to right, it's increasing. And the one on the right as well is also y is equal to b to the x. But in this case, okay, the b value has to be between 0 and 1.